Tension on the compound. Tension on the compound. All new arrival inmates report to the visiting part for orientation. Inmate Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett. Inmate Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. Inmate Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. Inmate Plies. Inmate Fort Myers Plies.
My son.
Inmate Hakeem Jeffries. Inmate Hakeem Jeffries. Inmate Oprah Winfrey. All 1015s report to the visiting part for orientation.
Oh my God.
Hey, welcome to Dino Reacts, the place where we turn our ignorance into excellence. And today, we have a clip of black women trying to get black men to vote for Kamala Harris. Let's listen to their methods of how they go about it. Some may be discreet with double talk, and some might also have a lot of venom in it. But let's get to it, and always, let's get after it.
Governor Walz, according to Politico, is...
Hey, let's get back to that. Overcome and achieve the second highest office in the world. Let's bear in mind, she got 0 votes during the presidential election. 0, didn't even make the primary in 2020. On top of all that, during the primary debate, she called Joe Biden a racist. To his face. And he still picked her up. Why? Because Joe Biden wanted to make sure that he got the black female vote by throwing a black face, because he understands that the sisterhood will follow behind gender and race more than intelligence any day of the week. They just look at gender and race. That's it. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove to me I'm wrong. Walk around your neighborhoods, black people, and ask black women why they want to vote for Kamala Harris. And I tell you right now, it's going to be on 3 things: gender, race, and I hate Trump. That's it. If you dig deep into any of those things, they go into what I call 5-year-old mode. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I've made up my mind. That's immature as hell. Tell me I'm wrong.
going to be going out on a mentor, literally a tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio.
I know I'm cutting it off a lot, but I'm saying there's so much. What you got to understand is double talk. You know? And as a man that is frequent in womanese, I understand double talk. With Barack Obama going around on a message for black men, it's going to backfire. But her comment was, they don't need to speak to black men. They need to speak to American people. That is double talk for, do not make black men important. You can see by the expressions on her face, like, do you understand what you just said? And her face, look at her face like, ooh, I realized what I did. By making black men important, there's a certain sect of high-profile black women that think that they're all of a sudden going to get put back in the kitchen. Or they're going to be subordinate to men. When in no point in history did black men ever make black women subordinate to men. Black women decided to go chase the white government under Lyndon B. Johnson. Chase government checks under Lyndon B. Johnson. Chase the separation of family under Lyndon B. Johnson over the black men. Black men didn't do that. We were in the civil rights movement trying to fight for the rights for all of us. Y'all want to picket lines with us, but we were out there too. Building the Black Panther movement and the earliest forms of the Crips and Bloods, so we can protect our own from white supremacy. But instead of rewarding us for that type of protection and safety, you went to the white man and the white man's government and got a free paycheck. Now, 50 years later, you guys have become the highest educated, the highest of new home ownership, and have achieved a lot in this country while completely saying you have no need for the black man and disregarding us. So when you see any time somebody tries to single out the black man as important, i.e. Ice Cube, you guys say, don't, let's not talk about that. Let's not put an onus on them. Let's put a spotlight on them. like this lady is doing right now. I got a feeling she's coming from a good place of wanting to talk to the American people, but she's always brushing under the rug any type of hate towards the black man and putting him back in his prominence, his place, right under God, as it says in the Bible.
Even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that...
See, once again, as I said earlier, you have to hear double talk. She came in on fire. Why are black men being belittled? Very good thing to say, because we do feel belittled. Why are black men being singled out is wrong. No, she's trying to make sure why black men being lectured to. She is definitely trying to make sure that black men are not made at any type of level paid attention to. Don't pay attention to them. Talk to all men. Don't talk to black men. Because black men wake up when we're made important, when we're showed appreciation, when we showed understanding, and when we're lied to directly. So he's like, no, just talk to all men. Because as long as you're talking to all men, black men ain't going to feel picked on. That's what I'm hearing right here. Barack Obama is going around to talk to black men because black men, we are waking up. We are understanding that this double talk has been happening to us for years. This shame has been happening to us for years by sisters that act like they support us, but at the same time do not want us to be important. And it's glaring in our faces now. And since in our communities, the black woman's voice is so continually loud and destructive, that black men now understand that go vote in the booth. You know? I don't even got to fight against you, because the fight ain't with you. The fight is with myself and my ability to think for myself. Now that I understand I can, go ahead. I won't even talk to you about no politics. I'm going to study my politics on my own time with my own education, because that's another thing that black women are completely overlooking. Our ability to sit with our cell phones and our iPads and our iMacs and our MacBooks on our own time, in coffee shops, in bookstores, in front of 7-Elevens, on the corner stoop, and study for ourselves, enlighten ourselves, get the message for ourselves, and then, based upon being discreet and patience, don't even talk to you about it. Just know now that I've made up my mind. And for us men that are emotionally strong and stoic, you'd never know. But then we go to that booth and we push that button for Trump, and you wouldn't even know the wiser. And a lot of black women, and in the case of Barack Obama in these videos, completely know that is what's happening. And they're trying to figure out a message to these black men, but they don't know how to talk to us without giving us something. And they don't want to do that. Not at all. Not all black men. They want to give selected black men something. But all black men. And the thing is, though, you got to talk to all of us, because we all walk around in this skin color, and we all Americans, and that's what's hurting them.
I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And why... As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care.
See what I'm saying again? Don't come over here and talking to black men. Don't go wake them up. Because listen, you can wake up black men by telling them lies. You can come right in my face, come right in my house and lie to me, just like Barack Obama was doing in that previous clip. A lot of men in that room was like, what are you talking about, brother? Kamala ain't raised like me. That spark right there is enough to make that man go home and be like, That guy's a fool. I thought I believed in him, but once again, he came out, lied to my face. That's what she's talking about. She don't want to send Democratic prudence into black male spaces and lie to them to their faces. Because that's going to wake us up. Because we can smell bullshit when we hear it, because most of us have a high fight or flight. Our life depends on it. When us being the lowest percentage of males in the country, that represents the highest murder rate. So that means we naturally have a propensity for understanding bullshit, because we got to protect our neck constantly. You know? So all black women know that. They know we are a sleeping giant. And you can come into our neighborhood like the Wes Wesleys and the Byron Donalds, and then come talk to us and wake us up that way. Or you can come into our neighborhoods and lie to us to our faces and wake us up that way. Either way, the black woman don't want that in their neighborhood. Because once we wake up, then we start to do what's right by God. And a black man under God, with the love in his heart for all people, is very dangerous in this world. Not dangerous as far as in he's going to do something bad to the world. Dangerous as far as in he's going to have accountability and control over himself. And as she said, black men by and large vote with black women. No, it should be black women by and large vote with black men. But that's not the case, and they know it. So pay attention to the doublespeak, brothers, so you can understand how to listen, compute, digest, comply, and then go vote for your best self-interest. And you don't got to fight. You vote, you move. I always say, once I know how you are, I don't want you to change. I'm just going to move different. And that's what black men got to do. Get off your soapbox and go vote.
About the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think...
Do you hear that? It's wrong to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. You'll lay at the feet of everyone else. Asian bills, Jewish bills, Muslim bills, Palestinian. They lay at the feet of everybody else, but not at the feet of black men. That is wrong to do. And she even said it, we have our reasons. Our reasons are not even worth listening to, because our vote doesn't matter when it does. So I'm saying this to black men out there. Your vote matters. Your independent thought process to bring the sovereignty of your own masculinity back into the black community matters. And what side represents your opportunity to make that happen? Take the time. Go and listen to the plethora of black conservative commentators and reactors that are speaking the message of black male powerfulness under Christ and God as an American patriot. Yes, they should. Your vote matters. They should sit at your feet and say, we want your vote. What can we offer you? They should listen to your reasons, because your reasons are valid. You're important, and I care for you. But pay attention to double talk, sirs, because she is talking double. She's talking like she's in support of black men, but she's not. Pay attention.
Sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of
It might be some listen, black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President Obama and is the Harris-Walz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing
This is
black
not just
men?
about...
I don't think so.
It's not just about Pennsylvania. It's not just about men. It sounds like there's a concern that there's a broad problem for Vice President Harris with the blue wall.
What's up, James?
See what I'm saying? Y'all can hear it. Make sure that when you are listening to Double Talk, that you don't listen from your heart. Listen from your head. Because in your heart is the love for black women. In your heart is respect for your mothers and your sisters and your aunties. In your heart is the want to see the prosperity of the females and the education of the females and the freedom of the females in your heart. But in your head, you can hear those who will tell you those things, use those to shame you to vote against your own self-interest. She doesn't want the black man to be heard. She wants Barack Obama to talk to all men. And in a group of all men, our specific needs are not going to be heard. So pay attention. She is not one of your allies. Not at all.
Hey, I've been hearing this. I just wanted to see if you knew for sure. Did 29-year-old Kamala Harris sleep with 60-year-old Willie Brown? And did he start her career?
Why are you faxing a 59-year-old woman? Who did you sleep with 30 years ago?
Oh, my
And did they
God.
start your career?
In the words of the immortal Kevin Samuels, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Immediately goes into insults. Answer the question. Do you know about that? Have that discussion. Going back to the previous thing, black men have their reasons. He has his reason. But instead of answering the question, she went immediately into insults. But let's see. Maybe she'll get back to it. Maybe she'll give this guy the respect he deserves of taking his time to call in to ask the question. Let's see.
Can you fact check that?
No, I asked you a question. Who were you sleeping with 30 years ago? Do you know who you slept with 30 years ago?
Well, I'm not a politician, so I'm not
No,
running for
but
president.
you asking about somebody. So let's run your.
You see right here? Shame, insults. Immediately. He asked a question. But instead of answering the question, she asked him a question to completely deflect from him, to shame him for even asking a question that he was concerned about. He has a concern. But she don't want the concern. And you hear that tone of voice, that disgusting tone of voice. It's meant to make you feel bad as a black man for having inquiries. And she's going in on him now asking him about his sex life and his work, when it's a very important thing for us to know. Did Kamala Harris sleep with a married man for benefits on her way up the corporate ladder to become a district attorney? It's important to us. He maybe didn't ask it in a way that was more intellectual, but definitely I understood the question. But her response is telling. In the previous clip, you had the woman using double talk. Now she is using sign language. Black men, we are awake.
Facts. Who did you sleep with 30 years ago? Why is that since it's your business who she slept with, then that's our business now. Since you done called into a international radio show, who did you sleep with 30 years ago? Do you remember?
You a hoe I ain't voting for.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. My G said straight up, if she had HOE, I ain't voting for her. Now that is a man who sit on his convictions. And you see what happened there. She went straight into insults. Look at her face. She did not see that coming. She went straight into trying to insult this man's ability to ask a question, because men do not like that. She wants to be in the highest position in America, the President of the United States. And none of us want an HOE there. None of us want that type of... No man wants an HOE in office because we know how they operate in society. Why do we want that in the White House? We want some class and grace up there. And the fact that she couldn't even answer that is telling on her own part. And look at brother. Brother was over there, not even 1 second coming to defend this black man's ability to ask the questions and get the answers he wanted. But he was very, very happy that black man standing on his square and put her in her place. He can never do it. He's that black man that I worry about. That he's going to side with the black woman for even for his own destruction, as long as he's getting attention from her. No, me, I want attention from God. God only. I look up to him for guidance and strength, and I look for God to tell me how to look for the right women to get on my plan and assist me in my life, and then I will take care of her. But he ain't one of those types of men. Not at all. He's soyed out. And he's willing, for the sake of destroying his own masculinity and his own power and grace under God, side with women that will belittle him if he has an opinion of his own. But when he meets a real one, like this man right now, it makes him smile and laugh. It is the first time he ever shows some emotion, because he don't get to see that all the time. Somebody that's standing on their own. And look at her face. Look at the difference in contrast in faces. Her face is like, damn, that's a real one out there. What do I do now? Let's continue.
And you a clown. You a stupid, goofy ass clown. That's the dumbest shit. You should be fucking embarrassed to call into a national.
Shame, insults, and guilt now. Sign language all day. He said, if she a hoe, excuse my language, sorry, I'm not voting for her. But instead of her recognizing what that means to a man to not be with a promiscuous woman, now she's going into deeper insults. This is what I'm talking about, that black men are running away from. Women of this caliber. She doesn't represent all black women, but she represents enough of them for us to no longer want to be a part of it. We want nothing to do with this. This is not a good person. She's an educated person, but that doesn't make her a good person. She's not a person under God. She's a person under her own ego and her own thought process that leads to her believing that she is better than others. Not with others, but better, especially better than black men. That is wrong. And now look at the contrast while she's going into her diatribe and very venomous attack on this young man that had a question. And he didn't attack her. Get that. Understand. He didn't attack her. He's talking about Kamala. But she feels a need to insult another man on the benefit of Kamala just because he has a question that does not agree with her viewpoint on how he should be asking. Unfair. And this is what black men are leaving behind. And this is why they don't want Democrats and any other Putins coming into black neighborhoods to talk to us. Because we're going to tell them that we don't want this. And black women have a problem when a black man say, we don't like you and your attitude and the way you carry yourself.
Radio show running a 30-year-old facts. What the does that have to do with the goddamn price of tea in China? You are goofy. This is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my whole life. You ain't said shit about gas prices, grocery prices, climate changes, a whole motherfucking hurricane in this country. People running for cover.
Look at the shame. She used it all. Shame, insults, guilt. All I'm waiting for her is the need to be right, but I'm pretty sure that's coming too. But she just goes through all of it. It's classic and it's understanding. And I hope men wake up to it. Wake up to sign language and wake up to double talk so you can understand who to leave behind. We ain't got to change these women. We are not. We can leave them behind. We are black men. Whoever we sleep with, we make black children. We can make a black race that understands. So don't even trip on their mindset and their talking. Leave this behind. This is sickening and venomous.
And you talk about somebody maybe, possibly, potentially 30 years ago? That don't sound goofy to you? Grow up. Grow up. Maybe you need to get you some. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you ain't got none, and that's why you worried about who the hell she was potentially or not sleeping with 30 years ago. That's embarrassing. That's disgraceful that you called him with that stupid ass question. Like we ain't got more pressing shit in the world to motherfucker about. Are you serious?
Wow. That was extremely interesting. But she is totally in the wrong. And brother, wherever you are in the world, thank you for calling in and asking your questions. Remember I said, we're always trying to take our ignorance to excellence. And he was speaking through his ignorance to try to find excellence. And did she help him? No. She tried to shame him, insult him, guilt him out of his own thought process. That's why I say, black men, find your education elsewhere. Find your understanding elsewhere. Make decisions for yourself and leave them behind. Or if you can't, because of marriage, relationships, children, love in your heart, don't even talk to them. Go to the booth and vote the way you want to. Hey, as you can see, there are some black women out there that have no respect for our ability to think for ourselves and to vote for who we want. It seems like just asking questions about our political candidates is a catastrophe. And that is completely false. So I say, black men, go out there, do your studies, understand who you're voting for, and do not worry about the loudmouth black women who don't have any respect for your opinion, as I have just shown. You have the right to understand what you're voting for and put into office the person that best benefits you. You do not have to stand behind those who do not support you, your intelligence, or your ability to figure out and vote for people on your own. Save yourself, black man, and look at this election as an election for yourself. You can do it. Is it easy? All the information is there. And don't worry about these loudmouth women. They're not going to change. But what you can do is you can change yourself. Let's go. Trump 2024. Hey, thank you for watching Dino Reacts. If you like my content, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, chef's kiss.